Hey YouTube, Brian's Garage here with an update on Project SHO. But first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing and liking and commenting on my videos. I guess my channel's really running away, if you'd like to say that. So, but Project SHO here, I got this guy. So now, if you've seen my previous videos, you know that this thing's suffering a severe case of weight reduction. You know, North Dakota winters and salt and peat and all the shit they put on the roads. So I wanted to save the car. I ended up cutting up a Taurus 91 because the rocker panels and everything fit. They're the same. There's actually a lot of things the same on that car for being a stock L model. The shell and everything, you know, the main components of the vehicle were the same, you know, minus quarter panels and stuff like that, but the subframe and stuff like that was the same. Well, after looking closer at it, I mean, this thing would have to be on a rotisserie or something, you know, and I don't have a lift, and I don't even know where the hell you lift this thing without lift points. So I ran into this 93 Taurus. No, it's a GL model. I paid $600 for it. It was a elderly couple's vehicle, and I bought it from the grandson, I believe. So it sat for 10 years and got some rats in it. So what I did was, I was in the process of cleaning the garage here, but I ended up running into this vehicle and yeah, drove it 115 miles back to Bismarck. The reverse isn't working, the tires are crappy, but she made it. It still runs. Reverse works intermittently, so I'm not exactly sure if something's sticking inside the transmission or what's going on, but it did have mice, you know, rats in it, mouse up the blouse, or whatever you want to say. So I figured I'd clean this out because the sooner the better to get that crap out of there, you know. So what I did was I took the carpet out of the trunk and the seat backing plate, which is just a piece of plastic, and tore everything out, tore the back seat out. You know, those come out pretty simple right here. You just push the seat in and it'll lift up, and then you got two 10mm bolts right there that hold the back on, and that lifts that seat right out. And then I sprayed the crap out of it with Purple Power cleaning. This guy right there, Purple Power, and I sprayed the heck out of it and parked it on a hill so the trunk was down and the front end was up, and took a hose and sprayed that sucker right out, brushing it and cleaning it. I'm not sure if you'll see, but right there is a relief or a drain, and on this side there's a relief or a drain. So I mean, a guy could clean it up pretty good. I sprayed underneath the bottom of the trunk, sprayed all that out. That actually drains in the corners there with the trunk open. And then scuffed it up with a Scotch-Brite pad and sprayed bed liner from O'Reilly's in there. And with it being all cleaned and the bed liner in there, that'll kind of cover that smell, you know. And I feel like the bed liner will also add some sound dampening. You know, it'll take the deaden the sound there. So I got the padding and all that stuff I threw away, but I actually have a carpet from the SHO there that I got really clean. So that'll be getting installed in there. And clean this up really good. So now the good thing about tearing this all apart and cleaning it all, you know, I wiped this all down with disinfectant wipes, and kind of gave me the opportunity, since I was in there, to replace these, the factory speakers. So now that I got that all cleaned, I cut out the factory 5x7 opening, I cut it to fit the 6x9 and fit that in there and wired them in. They sound pretty good for just running off the stock radio for now. I might actually add some of the sticky sound dampening stuff in there, but so the trunk looks 100 times better now. I mean, even though it's going to be covered by carpet, you know that it's kind of waterproofed, you know, water gets in there, it'll just be sitting on rubber, it won't be eating through your metal anymore. And put the carpet back in. I'm actually gonna, when I go to swap the SHO motor into the vehicle, I'm gonna actually put a battery relocation kit in here because the car came with the optimal battery, which is nice. I'm gonna put a battery relocation kit in there so the battery will actually be in the trunk. And then too, that'll kind of be, I feel like it'll be better for wiring the stereo in. You know, I'm gonna have a 4-channel amp in there and a sub amp. So it'll be pretty close to the battery there. Possibly add another one, but yeah, just kind of trying to get this thing cleaned out so if it sits for a while, it's not festering in that rat shit. I did try popping one of those wheels on, but the SHO, I guess, has the police interceptor suspension with the larger diameter brakes. So when I actually put this wheel on here, you see how the strut's designed there? The tire was almost rubbing up on this. It's got that shape there. So I'm not gonna be able to change the, you know, put the SHO wheels on it until I swap out the suspension, and I'll probably be putting a lot of new parts in, bushings and stuff. So Project SHO is back up. I'd like to finish cleaning the garage here before I start tearing into it. I'd like to put them side by side so I can see what's different from a factory SHO to just a plain Jane model Taurus. So I'll get my garage cleaned up here and then we'll start swapping parts. There's going to be a lot of work with the clutch, you know, assembly under the dash and the shifter coming through the floor and all that stuff. It's a big project, and you know, some of you might say, why? You know, I had a newer pickup that I got rid of to finish some of these projects, and you know, nobody's really restoring or fixing these cars. I mean, they were one of the fastest production cars produced at the time. They're a really reliable engine, you know, and now that I have this thing and it's blue, you know, like I always seen the blue and or I've always seen the red and green shells. I never really seen a blue one. So I'd kind of like to build a, you know, blue SHO clone, and this gives me an opportunity, you know, like putting in the Pioneer 6x9s, you know, I can do all that stuff and I can build this vehicle the way that I want it, you know, and not just buy a mainstream vehicle, you know, like something that everybody has. The F-150 was really nice, but you're seeing them everywhere now. You know, and for buying a $40,000 car, I could stick 510 into this thing and get it running and driving good and have a nice car. You know, I can paint the frame and do all these things to this, modify it how I want it, you know, basically personalize it to myself, and have something that I enjoy, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, the new trucks are nice, fast, I mean, everything, but, you know, this way you have something that you did, and plan on making this a nice, fast, sporty vehicle with great stereo system and possibly putting turbos on that. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work, but we'll build it, and eventually, while I build this vehicle and strip this down, I might look at some options too for you know, putting it on a rotisserie or something. You know, maybe I can still save it. I mean, I have the subframe there, it's just going to be a lot of time consuming welding, so I don't know if it's worth it. The vehicles don't really have a good resale value, but it'll also be kind of interesting to repair this vehicle and build it. And I seen one video where a guy had a rear wheel drive, so who knows what we'll do with this shell as we build this one. You know, I think the main thing is getting the drivetrain switched over. You know, that's the big part, so that way this vehicle is drivable, and then more or less worry about the body, you know, the wing, the ground effects, and all that stuff. So keep on liking and subscribing. I enjoy it. I'm gonna start looking into doing a little more editing and stuff like that, you know, keep you guys interested. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and have a nice day.